If you're a 5'2" in human design, you're living in a double projection field, which means that people don't really see you. They see what they need you to be. Savior, solution, hermit, genius. And if you've ever felt invisible, misunderstood, or burned at the stake for not living up to unspoken expectations, this video is for you.
Welcome to Frequency of Self, your go-to resource for the practical application of human design in life, business, and relationships. If you're ready to experience lasting transformation, hit subscribe.
I'm Ellie Mann. I'm a 5'2" splenic projector. I've been into the human design system since 2020, and I've experimented a lot on this journey with human design and this system that really has changed my life. So what is profile? Profile is the role that you're here to play in this life. The first number comes from your personality side. So this is your psyche, your psychology, your mind, who you think you are. And for a 5'2", this is the 5th line. The second number comes from your design side. So this is the unconscious aspect of who you are. This is the body portion of your design, of the role you're here to play. So altogether, this makes the 5'2" the Heretical Hermit. It can be a really challenging profile, but it also can be really powerful in how you're universalizing to other people through the naturalness that you develop in your hermit phase. These are some of the things that I wish I knew from the beginning of my journey into human design. Part 1, double projection field. So what do I mean by double projection field? Well, within the human design system, both the 5th line and the 2nd line are projected onto. So 5th line in particular, they're projected that they're going to be the savior in somebody's life or potentially the villain. You know, a lot of times I get either really positive projections from people, and I can feel it now. I can feel a difference when somebody is projecting onto me something that is not necessarily true about me. Or I can be projected onto that I am the villain in somebody's life, that I have, not met certain expectations that they did not inform me of. They were unspoken expectations that I'm somehow meant to meet and possibly exceed. For the 2nd line, it is the natural genius as well as the hermit. 2nd line projections can feel really good. They can feel like, oh, they think I'm a natural. They think I'm a genius. Maybe I am. I don't know. They are the ones that pick things up really quickly and easily. They don't have to have a whole lot of practice. They can just, like right now, this is my first YouTube video I've ever done. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. But ultimately, what the 2nd line doesn't like is pressure. The pressure to go create a big business with this natural gift that they have. Go to intensive music school because they're a naturally good singer. That pressure can sometimes kill the magic that particular talent may have. Part of that hermitude, part of that hermit-like quality that 2nd lines want to have is to just be left alone. They just kind of retreat into that hermitude because they want to be in their natural state. That hermitness is a protective mechanism from the projections of, oh, you're a natural genius. You need to make something out of this. You need to do something with this. And you're just like, no, I just want to be me. So here are some practical solutions and ways to navigate this particular profile. Part 2, surviving projections. So through awareness and how to start to navigate those projections and feel them out, you'll start to notice when somebody is projecting something onto you that is really positive or really, really negative. And you know for yourself that the truth is somewhere in between. Because you're human, full of weaknesses, full of foibles, full of complexity, that neither one of those will be actually true of you. It'll just be what that person is projecting onto you in the moment. My offer to you is to learn and understand what your limitations are. Set expectations, reasonable expectations, realistic expectations to the other person. When you can feel that they're projecting on you, you might come into a company and they might expect you to save the whole company based on whatever projections they feel about your qualifications. Immediately from the get-go, my best recommendation would be to set clear expectations of what you can actually accomplish and manage so that they have a full understanding of where your limitations are. You might be really naturally gifted and talented at this one particular area of expertise. And the projection might be, oh, if they're naturally gifted at this, they might be naturally gifted at that, which you were not. So you have to set those boundaries of, this is my scope of expertise. Let me shine in this particular scope, and don't expect me to translate that over into another area that I might not know anything about. Setting these limits, expectations, boundaries with other people can minimize the amount of blowback that you might potentially get for them having unspoken expectations on you. If you were clear in your communication and let them know exactly what you can deliver, then you'll save yourself from the potential burning at the stake. Part 3, seductress and universalizer. Some of the key aspects of being a fifth line are to give people practical solutions for what problems they have. It is also to be a seducer, and not necessarily in a sexual sense, but in any kind of area of expertise. That fifth line wants to seduce people into the areas of interest that they have. One thing I want to impress upon you is that a lot of times you will have much more impact on strangers than you will your inner circle. That is the mechanics of it. You are here to universalize on a larger scale. You are here to become the stranger of consequence. You can come in, impact somebody that you don't know, and head out. Ultimately, some people, when they are in crisis in their life, need that savior to come in, need somebody to play that role in their life so that they can believe in something bigger than themselves. That can be a really profound experience that you can bring to somebody's life, is being in that savior role. Look at Taylor Swift. She's a 5-1. She's a 5-1 splenic projector. Probably why I love her so much. What she does is she is able to go through her own experiences, go through these really difficult, relationship kind of struggles or career kind of struggles that she's had in her life, and be able to universalize them in a way and make these experiences seem almost generic so that everyone can connect with them. Everyone can find themselves in her experience and be able to resonate and connect with her on a really deep level. And she makes you feel like, oh, I'm not the only one that has gone through that. Somebody else has had that experience. And that makes you feel a part of the human journey. You can see how that fifth line personality can be such a powerful force. Part 4, your reputation matters. We're going to be really concerned with how people are viewing us. Particularly with me, with an undefined solar plexus, I'm kind of a people pleaser. I want people to have positive feelings about me. I don't want to rock the boat. But that fifth line projection field that is always there, it's mechanics. You have no choice. People will project onto you positively or negatively. So you want people ultimately to have a positive feeling about you, right? That can be a challenge. Your humanity is getting lost in this. If you have a negative reputation, it takes much longer for a fifth line to drag themselves out of that than it would be for other people because of this projection field, because people can't quite see you clearly. So going back to Taylor Swift, very famously, her reputation was ruined. She was told that she was a liar and a snake and all of this different kind of stuff. And she retreated into herself. She is a 5-1, so her first line, her foundation was rocked. And so for her to take care of herself as a splenic projector, she did what was healthiest for her. Her intuition was telling her to retreat. When she came back, she wrote Reputation, that whole album. Her intuitive awareness of her role to play in this life led her to write a whole album about her reputation and righting the wrongs that people had placed on her, the negative projections that people had placed on her. She had to set the story straight. Comment below about the experiences you've had as a fifth line and the projections that you might have gotten. Part 5, navigating your natural gifts. One of the core things about being a second line is this idea that people are going to call you out for the natural talents that you have. One thing for you to discern within yourself is when that calling out feels aligned for you and when that calling out feels like pressure into something that does not feel aligned for you. I think the way to discern between if there is pressure that feels like ulterior motives or feels as though like it is for the benefit of the other person as opposed to you, and the calling, the true calling, where that feels very resonant, it feels very almost spiritual, then that can be more safe feeling in your nervous system as opposed to being put pressure on you. So you start to notice what the difference is, what feels good, what feels right, or does it feel like pressure? When I was younger, I was really naturally gifted at playing piano. I would just dabble, make up songs, like do all kinds of different stuff, and it sounded really good. I just did whatever sounded nice. And a lot of people called me out and said, you know, my mom put me in piano lessons, which she was doing what she thought was right and developing my technique and wanting to hone that gift into something greater. And I just wanted to play. I hated practicing. I hated doing the scales and all of that kind of stuff. I didn't really want to learn the technique. I just liked to play whatever I wanted to play, whatever sounded good and natural to my ear. So I kind of stopped playing after a while. The other example I'll give you is that I was also really naturally gifted at art and drawing and painting and that kind of stuff. I was really drawn to creating in that kind of way. And so I went to art school. It felt really good to me to be able to pursue that without the pressure that I was feeling. And eventually, I think in art school, eventually there was pressure. But ultimately, I made that decision myself. And it wasn't as much of a pressure sense of like, oh, you're going to be this great artist. I wanted to develop my technique. I wanted to develop and hone my skills. Hopefully, you can see a bit of the nuance in there. I'd like to know for you as a second line, when you have felt the pressure or when you have felt the calling, let us know in the comments below. One thing to note here before we go on to the next section is I want to impress upon you that that pressure can really kill the magic of your naturalness. Part of where you find that naturalness is in that hermit time, in that alone time. That hermit time is essential for you to develop the magic that you have. And so needing a lot of alone time is not a problem for your life. It's actually who you are built to be. So let yourself have that alone time. Quick interruption. If this is resonating with you and you'd like to dive deeper into your human design chart, I offer readings. You can find the link to my website in the description below. Part 6, your unique process. Let me tell you something that most people don't talk about is the very unique process of the 5-2 calling itself out. So the 5th line, personality. So again, this is your psychological mind, who you think you are. And the 2nd line, body, the hermit. So this is your actual physical body. That 5th line personality is going to call out that 2nd line body. No other profile within the human design system, all 12 profiles, the 5-2 is the only one that has this very unique process of calling itself out. Yes, you can be called out by other people for your natural talents or whatever the case may be, but there's also this deeply personal process that you experience within yourself to call yourself out, to be that 5th line savior or that 5th line universalizer, to help people in your life, to help people that you don't even know understand themselves. When I was in art school, I had a really deep sense within myself that I wanted to make art about international women's issues. It was something that I felt within myself called to do. Nobody asked me to do it. It wasn't something that was really on my radar before I got into art school. Honestly, that was one of the times in my life that I felt most proud of what I was doing and what I was communicating. I think it really impacted people that experienced the art that I made. It educated them on something that they probably would have never found out about themselves. That was such a gift to give myself, to be able to have that calling and to answer it. and there was really no stopping me. It just had to be done. Look at you. You stayed until the end. Thank you so much for your time and attention. You must have found value in what I had to say. Drop a star-eyed emoji in the comments below to let us know that you found value in this video. And there's a few more videos here that you can watch on this channel that you can dive deeper into your human design. Thanks again for watching.